Dude, they should have swept them. Or 5. So they
that,
finally. I'm not going to answer.
Man, I can't hear you now, bro. That's going in the blooper reel now. That's gonna be in the blooper. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Say Less Basketball Podcast. You're currently listening to episode 52 this week. This is our free episode. New episodes. We're gonna try and do it every Sunday, every Thursday now. Or we're testing this stuff out, but it's this first week here we are. So, welcome back to another episode. We're back for a short episode, like 30 minutes, but we appreciate everybody tuning in. This week, we're trying to decipher some things. So we're trying to split the NBA and get more coverage on it. That's why we're doing 2 episodes. So right now, actually, the Sixers and Nets game is going on, which has been the main topic probably this week, probably the last couple of weeks as well, with the Simmons trade and the Kyrie Irving playing and Durant and everyone. There's a whole bunch of stuff with the Nets and the Sixers. So James Harden is playing as well, but first thing
might as well not be.
Yeah. First thing, the Ben Simmons got booed right away. I've been looking at the stuff on Twitter and Instagram. He got booed coming out of the.
They were saying Ben Simmons
coming out of the court. They were chanting F Ben Simmons. There's currently the Nets are up 128-93 though. So your thoughts, gentlemen, on this issue, on the Sixers booing? There's this whole thing with Westbrook as well. This week has also come out and stated that the fans Westbrook, calling him Westbrook and calling him names, has affected his teammates or has affected his family from coming to the games. And his family doesn't want to go to the games now because they're just going to get names tossed. They don't want to hear their father get names tossed at him as well. So you think it's okay for the fans to be booing Ben Simmons like this? Yes or no? What are your thoughts, Will?
Yeah.
Or Mohammed?
Yeah. I'll just say real quick, the Westbrook thing, dude, he's been called Westbrook for years. I don't totally understand why that's suddenly becoming a huge deal. But
that's facts. Yeah. It's becoming a huge deal because it's just he's not playing well. So
he's on the Lakers. I mean, it's because he's on the Lakers. That's the real reason. And he's playing with LeBron. Like LeBron, whether you like it or not, playing with LeBron is going to amplify everything about you. Your best traits are going to be amplified, and then your worst are going to be amplified. So, the death threats aspect of it is obviously uncalled for. That's not like you can't do that as a fan, bro. You can't do that to a person. Period. Like that's uncalled for. But the Westbrook, oh boy. The Westbrook thing, he's been called Westbrook for his life, like his whole career, as far as I know, at least since I've really followed him. But here's the thing, dude. I feel like Westbrook's using this as an excuse to not an excuse, but like as reason to just be emotional and get mad at the fans. And mad at other people and try and maybe not necessarily deflect blame, but kind of, because, he's playing terrible, but he's also not playing terrible, but like he's playing bad enough. He's not playing to what he should be playing to. Let's put it that way, because he's not playing terrible, but it comes with criticism. As Chris Broussard has said, Jack doesn't like when we mention other people's names, but Chris, I watched their shows, and Chris said this really well, and it's just true. If you're in the public's eye, you're going to get criticized. Not everybody's going to like you. That's just how it is. But death threats, that's too far. That you should never do that.
Yeah. On the Westbrook stuff, it's bogus, dude, for real, because the whole death threat thing that's going too far, and it's just, I don't understand how people could do such a thing to people that don't really affect the franchise at all. And, the Westbrook thing is all justified. He's playing bad. You're playing for one of probably the most popular NBA team of all time. So it's going to come with all the criticism. So I feel his pain. I'm never gonna bash players for latching out because I do understand the mental toll it takes, for being an athlete and then having people on the internet call you names and you know, threatening your family and stuff like that. So I understand why he would lash out, but the whole death threat stuff is that's doing too much.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
agree.
here's the other
Mhm.
thing, Zach, real quick. Why bring his family into it, Zach? Why do you need to bring his family into it? You
Yeah,
know?
that's facts. Yeah, the death threats are not it. Personally, I think he's been okay with this stuff. I think Westbrook is he's not he I don't think Westbrook is like a wuss. Like he doesn't back away from anything, I think. So I think that's the type of player he is. So he's been able to would endure it and all this negative stuff that's happened to him, the criticism that he's gotten this year, he's been able to endure it, I think. But as soon as the family and everything gets involved in, then I think that's the point where you cross the line. Uh, and I understand why he came out and said to the media about it, talked to the media about it, because it makes sense. If he was just talking about it like personally, just himself, then I'd be like, well, that's kind of a wuss move. But to bring your family into it and not let them and not have them be able to go to games, like that's way past it, I think. So I think the Lakers fans are obviously very passionate about the team, but at some point it's like you got to just accept Westbrook for who he is and what he's doing with the Lakers. Even if it's bad, you just got to live with it. So
I mean, to be fair, he's doing exactly what he's done in his career. I think he's shooting almost to the percentage, the exact same percentage for as his career percent.
yeah,
He's right around the same amount of turnovers. He is who
but
he
but
is.
it's
He's
underneath.
exactly who they
Yeah,
thought
but
he'd be.
yeah, but he could be having great games, but if they lose and
Yeah, yeah.
he bricks a shot off the backboard at least once a game, it's not going to matter. You
Or
know,
Buddy can pass up a layup last night to win the
yeah,
game, and
LeBron,
it'll be fine.
LeBron, yeah, saw a lot
Double
of memes.
standards, huh?
I saw a
I
lot of
don't know.
memes
I
about
seem to
the
recall Ben
yeah.
Simmons doing something similar and getting F Ben Simmons chance the next time he enters the stadium to play. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I don't
Yeah,
know.
we talking about Westbrook not being weak, but I swear to God, bro, the Ben Simmons stuff is probably. I know I get on Durant for that move to the Warriors is the weakest move in NBA history, but this Simmons thing might be weaker, bro. Might be weaker because
He
I
didn't. He
he
didn't
just
choose
I
the
know,
end zone.
but he's just been such a drama queen about everything. I feel like, and I feel like he's shifted his standpoint from the mental health stuff. I feel like it was originally I don't like the team. They've said some bad stuff about me. There's conflict, the chemistry. He wasn't getting along with the team, and it was the managers and players' fault. But now he's saying it's my mental health is playing a major factor. So suddenly it shifted to that, and I'm not criticizing mental health. Everyone. I stress that enough. Everyone has their struggles with mental health, and we all have to work through it and be better about talking about it and having conversations about it. But I mean, Ben Simmons to shift onto that has been crazy. And he just got he does not has not shown good things to deal with it. I mean, he was talking. I remember Shaq. Sorry, I remember I'm rambling here a little bit, but I remember Shaq was talking about how Ben. He was DMing Ben on Instagram to stop talking. You're messing your money up, and he's just being He's just being constructive criticism, and Ben can't handle that. So I don't. What are your thoughts on the Ben Simmons thing with the fans booing him? Do you think he deserves? I mean, we just talked about him booing. Do you think he deserves to get booed? Do you think they should shut up? Do you think this is a weak move? Where is it?
I mean, we all expected him to get booed.
Yep.
I think I'm just surprised that he actually sat on the bench. I thought that was pretty. I don't know what the right word is, but it's just
Bold.
yeah, bold, yeah.
It's more
Um,
than I thought he'd do.
exactly. So
Yep.
it's Philly, of course. Philly's notorious for having really passionate fans, so of course he's gonna have chance of whatever they said today. But I'll give him props for actually being out there. He actually came out in warm ups, warmed up and stuff like that. So, um, I'm not like I said before, like, Ben Simmons, if he's claiming, he's actually claimed the whole mental health thing, and I've seen that he's gonna take some legal action too
Yeah.
about something like his money back.
Yeah, that's
So
wild.
I'm not gonna speak on things I don't have a lot of knowledge about, but I mean, after what they did to the Sixers today, I mean, he should look at this game and be like, okay, this is the team I'm on right now, and if I come on the court, we're gonna be just as better. So just try to
Yeah,
get back as soon as possible.
I haven't finished the game yet. I got 4 minutes left, but dude, they annihilated them. And it's sad. I mean, Prince asked me what's happening. I was like, let me sum it up for you. KD and Kyrie are going off, and James Harden and Joel Embiid aren't doing anything. I mean, James Harden was horrid. For some reason, this man in the biggest games just does not show up. He was horrible.
He is.
Embiid was horrible. And the Nets defensive plan this whole game has just been seemingly we don't care. Let Embiid try and beat us. We're just gonna follow. They seem to follow him. They followed him an incredible amount of times. Make some, just do whatever. Their defense was phenomenal, and they don't even have Ben Simmons. I don't know if it's like because the Nets haven't played this way all year, so it's like making me wonder if they're playing up to the competition, because their defense is not like this. Embiid and Harden just so bad, dude. KD's offense tonight really pissed me off. Like it just was really boring for me to watch. He still makes his stupid shots that just piss me off. Like I don't even know why he makes them, but and Kyrie, nuts. But I think it comes down to Harden. First of all, Tobias Harris is going to get a ton of hate this year. I know he is, but Toby was their only guy tonight that was really consistent as far as I'm concerned, or at least semi-consistent. But the reason the Nets annihilated them is because their bench, their role players showed up. Seth Curry was amazing. Bruce Brown was amazing. Claxton had good minutes. Drummond had great minutes. Everybody showed up to play. And I think it's because I think this speaks volumes to how they feel about Simmons. Maybe it's showing, hey, we're with you. We support you. Let me get to the Simmons thing here. I've been arguing with some people on Instagram.
Oh boy.
I didn't really argue. I just said something to trigger them, and then they just started doing that LeBron meme to me, Mohammed, where they just what's the you haven't tripled up on the final. Yeah. So the way I see this Simmons thing, first of all, I don't think he deserved to be booed. I understand why it happened. Like I knew it was going to happen. I definitely don't think the F Ben Simmons thing was necessary. So I knew it was going to happen. I just don't think that he deserved it. Because here's the thing is that the way I see all of this is that the Sixers fans are just looking for a scapegoat. They're looking for somebody to blame for the past 5 years of mediocrity. All right. Because they've had really good teams. Really, really good teams these past 5 years. They haven't even made a conference finals. They couldn't even beat the Kawhi-led Toronto Raptors. And I know they won the finals, but like, you look at those rosters, are you kidding me? Like, what?
Into that series, I was like, dude, Sixers should have this.
They found a scapegoat now, and they're just blaming Ben Simmons because he's the easy reason. He had one iconic play that was terrible. Right, he passed up a dunk. Now we found a guy to blame. And when I was debating these guys on Instagram or whatever, I didn't really debate them. I just said one comment because I don't want to get in that. I'm too pop. I got an image to maintain. I don't want to affect that. But they're saying, oh yeah, our second best player averaged 3 points in the playoffs. I was like, okay, so you don't know what you're talking about. Maybe he had one game like that. I don't think that's actually true, but. Case in point, they found a guy to blame, and they are putting all of this on Ben Simmons. The reality is Philly has had great teams for a long time, and they have not gotten it done. It's not all his fault. All right, there's a lot of other things. Jimmy Butler got up and out of there, and I think Jimmy G buckets. Let me get that. Let's not confuse that with Jimmy Gag.
What's the G stand for?
G, Gerard. G stands for Gerard. G stands for Gets. Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Butler is known around the league as workhorse. I mean, how do you want to say it? He's like a respected player. Like people know his drive. If Jimmy Butler wanted up out of there, that means there is something else going on. Like it's not great culture or something. So I don't, make a short story long, what I did. Basically, I understand that. I knew he was going to get booed, but Philly fans, if you're listening, I know we got millions out there. You guys are walking out of the stadium 20 minutes early tonight. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to blame that on Ben Simmons too for getting annihilated by a Nets team that didn't even have Ben Simmons? You
Good
kidding
point.
me?
Yeah.
And you guys now might get Bradley Beal. I mean, what's going to be the excuse if that happens? You can't blame it on him. He's not the reason they've choked series away for the past 5 years. Maybe he had a huge impact against Atlanta. I'm not going to deny that, but they're just looking for somebody to blame.
I think it's just because it looks like he quit on the team. I think that's the main reason.
I understand that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's because
it's just how fans are gonna react. Anytime there's an ugly fallout for the player in the franchise, with
the fans
Philly
are always going to side with the people who stay there and are loyal. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically
I get that. I just think, like I said, the week it happened, I told you guys, I was like, I heard what Doc Rivers and Joel Embiid said. I told you guys it's over. That's it. You're never coming back from that. Now, granted, mature adults maybe could, but we're not talking about that maybe.
Yeah.
So I understand I understand that, but I think, I guess what I'm mostly saying is based on what I see on social media. And I'm just like, he's gone now. You got James Harden, who most people would say is a better player, but what's going to be the excuse this year when you choke? All right. Make me eat my words. If I eat my words like I did with the Raptors, after so long, then I eat my words. I'm okay with that. But when they choke again this year, who's to blame? Is it going to be Harden?
You saw Harden play tonight, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has games like that in the playoffs.
I won't either. I won't be surprised if tomorrow we find out he has a hurt hamstring again.
That would be funny. Yeah, he did not play well tonight. He was 3 for 17 from the floor for 11 points.
Were they all threes?
No, that's just from the floor. The threes from 3, he was 3 for 7.
Yeah, so he was 3 for 11, or he was 3 for 17 from the floor, and all the shots.
He was 3 for 17 from 2 and 3 for 7 from 3.
Oh, so he took 24 shots?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, got you.
And then you're right. They did foul Embiid a lot. He had 19 trips he was 15 for 19 from free throws. So they were fouling him like crazy.
They weren't fouling him. Embiid was just over exaggerating, getting touched, and now the refs just choke on the whistle.
All right.
Well, and the Sixers,
he was 5 for 17.
Yeah, awful.
And then he was also he had
missed layups.
He had 27 points and 12 rebounds, but
that's why you can't look at stat sheets.
They were
casual, box score watchers. That's terrible. I mean,
he was a minus 30.
One of the big things.
Harden was also a minus 30. Damn.
One of the big things I thought that the Sixers should be better defensively. I don't know why they aren't. I guess no. First of all, Matisse Thybulle's defense is unbelievable. He played phenomenally on Durant, and I think he bothered Durant a lot. But their issue was their game plan was apparently we're going to double team KD anytime he touches the ball. Every time he touched the ball, they doubled him, but they didn't rotate at all. And I don't know how many shots I counted that they got wide open, dunks, threes, whatever, out of the double team because the Sixers just don't rotate. It's like if you're gonna double, I don't know if that's on coaching. Like part of me feels like that's on Doc. If your game plan is double KD, you gotta rotate. That's just basketball 101.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. This is a huge loss for the Sixers, though, because there's a lot of hype about the Sixers. Ben Simmons is out. This is a time for them to really show him. You're booing him too at West Fargo Center. I mean, This is a big game for them, and they got blown out. They got embarrassed, and the Harden did not play like the trade package that everyone says he is, and so
It's
it is
not
gonna be
as
tough.
bad as the Lakers losing to the Rockets, but
That was pretty bad as well.
it's pretty close in my mind in terms of just like mental or expectation impact. You know, I only say because obviously the Lakers losing the Rockets is like potentially all-time low, but I'm just saying in terms of the moment, this was like all of Philly probably expected them to just annihilate. Let's go out there and show them who's boss.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Especially didn't they just lose recently too?
For the Philly?
Yeah, they beat the Brooklyn lost to the Celtics. Like that was a big loss for them, and I definitely thought they were going to lose after that game, but they blew them out. So, man, but
I mean, Kyrie makes a big difference, a really big difference.
Yeah, that's true.
They need him. They gotta hope that thing gets uplifted. That mandate because
the mandate. That's
They need him if Simmons isn't playing.
We've been talking about that, yeah.
You know, but what was I gonna say? I don't even remember, man. It's so late, man. My bedtime is soon. Can you believe that?
And yeah, so the Nets are currently 8 seed right now.
Dang.
They're on a 2-game win streak. The Sixers are 7-3 in their last 10 and the 3 seed. But like I just said, they just had a big loss, so you never know what's going to happen after this.
My question to you guys right now is: do you think James Harden? First of all, he might be my least favorite player in the NBA to watch. I've texted you guys that. I think he might be.
We've known that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you guys think he's like genuinely capable of just showing up in big games? Because I've seriously over the past few years started to question it.
Bro, I've been thinking about this, and I don't know if I said this before, but when you watch what he did against the Spurs in 2017 when Kawhi went out, and the Spurs didn't have Kawhi, and they still blew out the Rockets, and James Harden looks like he didn't want to be there anymore. And then I said this before, the bubble, when he played the Lakers in the second round, he just, after the first game, he just looked like he didn't want to play anymore. I'm telling y'all, like, he looks like he just gives up, and he's just like I don't want to say to me, like, disrespectful things, but he just doesn't seem like the guy that has the drive to be, he could face like, adversity or something.
Yeah.
And it looked like that tonight. So KD and Kyrie played like they wanted to, blow them out, and they did. And I don't know.
I don't even think they played the fourth quarter.
They didn't, but
KD barely played the fourth.
Those first 2 quarters, you could tell KD and Kyrie wanted it. They wanted this win bad. And Harden didn't look like he didn't want to take no parts with this. So,
yeah, I agree. He's always had, like when you said at the beginning of the episode, Will, like he always just somehow does not perform to the best of his ability in the big games.
I wonder how he'll.
Body language, man. Just look at the body language.
Yeah, facts. We've been talking about the body language since the trade deadline too. Muhammad brought that up multiple times. Just look at the body language. He's not in it. We've known, Muhammad always brings up he's not in it, and we all recognize it when they post highlights and you see him drugging along. It looks like he's got the fat suit on, like
yeah.
Fat suit on. He's dragging his feet.
Bro walking around like Eeyore.
You guys are
bro. You guys remember that tweet? You guys remember that tweet from I think it was from a Nets columnist that was like Harden thought it would be easy. He wanted to be on the Nets because he thought it would be easy, and then when Kyrie obviously won't get his vaccine, right? So he can't play half the games. James Harden wanted out because he didn't want to have to, like, he was expecting it to be easier. So the reason I'm saying this is I wonder how long it'll take for him to want out of Philly when he realizes it's not that easy, like even as good as that team is, they still had to give up some significant pieces to get Harden. I mean, Seth Curry is a big, I'm going to count him as a big loss.
They have Maxey, they have Tobias.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's true.
So that scoring is not a problem.
Their team should be good enough. Their team should be good enough.
It's good.
It's good enough every year. It's good enough.
Like you said, it's good enough every year.
This is, and you have to. We hark back to this all the time. You gotta. The window is now because Joel Embiid has never, knock on wood, had a season this healthy. He just hasn't.
He's not. No. Yep.
And he's too big. He doesn't take care of himself. Maybe he does now. I don't know. But like, you don't have a lot of chances here. The window is very short. Especially with a guy like Joel Embiid, if he's your leader, and then Harden, who you don't want to be your leader because as soon as the going or the tough, what God, Zach,
when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Yeah, I was gonna say the opposite, the tough get fat or whatever or something, or whatever you said last week.
The tough leave.
Yeah, we know Harden's about to dip out.
When the going gets tough, the weak leave. And some people think that Harden's weak. I mean, I haven't seen him really step up to a challenge ever in his NBA career. Really. I mean,
I'll give him props with those Warriors. I think 2018 and 2019, even though they ain't close him out, he did.
Right.
Yeah, a good series.
Maybe that was the breaking point for him. After that, he was like, "Oh no!" But
remember after they lost in 2019, he's like, "Oh, I know exactly what we have to do." When they were asking postseason press conference.
Oh right, I remember that. Yeah, and then they traded. They got rid of Paul, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We got Brody.
They still ended up. They even make it as far as they did with Chris Paul. So
I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna just throw this information out. It's factual, so you take and do with it as you will. People criticize KD for playing with some superstars, right? Some legit, unbelievable talents. They criticize LeBron for doing the same thing. People criticize Westbrook for the same thing. What about James Harden? I mean, Westbrook, yeah.
I feel like Harden's criticized more than Westbrook. I don't know.
No. I'm saying like, hey, Westbrook's played with a lot of great players and it hasn't worked, right? That's a thing that's said.
I mean, he's been.
I guess.
For years, yeah, he was contending for a championship. I wouldn't say.
No, I'm saying like people are like, hey, Westbrook played with Beal, he played with KD, he played with Harden. He played with Harden twice. He's now played with LeBron. It hasn't worked any time, and he hasn't got a championship. People say the same thing about KD. He's played with unbelievable players. Granted, he's won a championship, but he always has stacked teams. Same thing with LeBron. Harden's played with some really good players. And if it hasn't happened.
Yeah. If it doesn't work right now with the Sixers and Embiid, like it might be over.
It's over.
It's over. Final thoughts, gentlemen.
I don't want to hear nothing about he's better than D Wade or Allen Iverson or.
I don't want to hear any of that right now, anyways. So.
I mean, there's a lot of chatter about this. So.
Yeah, those are probably the fans that left early today.
Some people saying
they don't know what they're talking about. They're probably going over to a different stadium to watch a different team that they became a fan of.
I saw a bunch of Harden fans saying he's better than fucking Magic Johnson on Twitter the other day, bro. They were posting his stats. I'm like, come on, bro. Come on.
Box score watches.
Yeah. It was hilarious. Yeah. I don't know. I saw it like so many times too underneath the Harden tweets.
Hey, today was a good example of that meme. The "Hey Harden, we're down scoring." I just ate 4-6. Let's go.
Oh, that's a classic right there.
Yikes. Ben Simmons too.
I'm about to put that one in again because it's accurate now.
What was the Ben Simmons one? That didn't apply tonight, right?
That didn't apply, no.
They should make
that one? I can't remember.
Hey, Ben Simmons, we're up 30. You want to come in? Nah.
He's got 10 games.
Just got a 10 game. All right, though. Hilarious. We mostly just covered, Simmons today. Lakers also, the Rockets lost. That's hard as well, but we cover everything on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We try to post them there too. Hit the link tree in the bottom to see everything too. So we appreciate all you guys. Thanks for this episode. Tune in next week.
Keeping them shorter. Peace.